A sunny pixel city inside a high school classroom. Steve and Alex are listening to the lesson, bored out of their minds. Suddenly, sirens blare outside the window and screams shatter the peace. There's a banging sound outside the door as if something is approaching. A mutated zombie smashes through the classroom door and the battle for survival begins. It comes bearing the breath of death and despair. The classroom descends into chaos in an instant, and the students panic. Steve stays calm in crisis and quickly grabs the fire axe. Alex grabs a fire extinguisher, ready to fight back. Steve swings the axe, precise and powerful. Alex sprays the fire extinguisher, creating a white smoke screen.
We have to get out of here.
They work in perfect coordination and fight their way out.
The situation outside is unknown. Be careful.
The classroom is no longer safe. They must move forward. The corridor is empty but full of hidden dangers.
Let's go to the rooftop. Maybe we can see what's going on.
They rush up to the rooftop and the sight before them shocks them. The city has been engulfed in flames and helicopters are crashing down. The only hope in the sky vanished in an instant. The streets are crowded with a surging tide of zombies.
The whole city has fallen.
We have to find a safe route.
Facing the apocalypse, they did not back down. Survival has only just begun. The once prosperous city is now in ruins. The fire blazes high and the doomsday scene is shocking. The concrete jungle has instantly become a zombie territory. Human civilization faces a huge challenge. Steve and Alex look for a way out at the school only to find it has been overrun by zombies. Using their familiarity with the campus, they dodge the zombies all the way. Using their knowledge of the terrain, they successfully avoid a large number of zombies.
I think I hear something up ahead, Steve.
They finally rush into the school underground garage. Among the abandoned vehicles, they find a Jeep that still runs. After a thrilling encounter, they start an abandoned Jeep. With the roar of the engine, they accelerate and crash through the dense horde of zombies. They violently break through the school gate. The vehicle drives into the blazing fire. The modern city streets are littered with ruins. A bigger and cooler urban survival challenge has officially begun. They begin their journey to survive the Doomsday. Unarmed, they can hardly survive. They decide to look for weapons.
Watch out. There might be something inside.
The police station is in a mess. They move carefully.
There was a fierce battle here.
Long, dim corridor, every step filled with the unknown.
We found the armory.
This lock is strong, but we have a way.
They force it open, clinging to the hope of survival. Bang! Sense of security returns to them in an instant. This is where they transform.
This can block most attacks.
From civilians to warriors, they transformed in an instant.
CT surveillance. Locked in. Recon drones ready.
With their gear upgraded, they are no longer ordinary civilians. Roar! Right. The bright flash blinds them, buying Steve precious time. Da-da-da.
Done. Next one.
Armed to the teeth, Steve and Alex begin their search for a shelter. They need a stronghold with a wide field of view, easy to defend but hard to attack. Finally, they target the top floor of a luxury apartment. The drone switches to God view and begins cruising reconnaissance. Steve is in charge of clearing the remaining zombies in the corridor. Any threat will be violently eliminated quickly. After confirming safety, the two push further upward. The spacious, bright penthouse is the perfect stronghold. Alex unleashes her inner geek, setting up sensor traps. Redstone technology is cleverly integrated with police terminals. Real-time surveillance is set up on the rooftop, leaving no blind spots in defense. As the first redstone lamp lights up, the fortress is complete. The defense system activates, and a strong sense of security washes over them. Steve silently maintains his weapon. Alex finishes her defensive setup. This humble apartment instantly turns into a tactical fortress. They now have a god's eye view overlooking the apocalypse. Steve's gaze is resolute and calm. Alex's eyes are filled with determination and wisdom. They stare coldly below, waiting for dawn. In the tactical fortress, Alex focused on monitoring every corner of the city.
Wait. What is this?
A faint distress signal from underground broke the silence of the fortress.
Subway system. I'm going down there.
Be careful. The situation down there is unknown.
Steve ventured into the ruins alone, every step filled with the unknown. The subway entrance awaited his exploration. Guided by the police terminal, he resolutely stepped into the dark depths. The flashlight beam cut through the darkness deep inside the tunnel. In the darkness, zombie figures suddenly emerged. The muzzle locked onto the target in an instant. Gunfire shattered the silence, and the zombie fell in response. But this was only the beginning. More threats were emerging from the darkness. Steve kept suppressing the zombie horde. In the narrow carriage, zombies attacked again. Gunshots echoed, and the threat was eliminated. After a brief calm, Steve looked around warily. He pushed through obstacles one after another and finally approached the source of the signal. Using cover, Steve took out the zombies. He pushed the door open, and the truth was about to be revealed. The control room was covered in dust with old equipment. In the corner, an elderly man huddled, trapped.
Village Chief. Are you alright?
The old man in the exotic cloak seemed to hold vital secrets.
Kids, I have shocking news. The city's water supply has all been contaminated by the virus.
What? That's impossible.
Then, what should we do?
The village chief dropped water into the terminal and the screen turned red instantly. The words biohazard flashed wildly on the screen.
The only hope is to head to the water plant.
I'll log on to the water plant's location and scout the situation.
The water plant was marked with dense red dots of zombies.
Target locked. I'll clear the way.
A crisp mechanical click of loading the gun sounded.
My drone will show us the way.
For all the survivors, you must succeed.
The Jeep suddenly accelerated and charged toward the glass curtain wall. Glass shattered everywhere as the Jeep burst out of the building. The Jeep glided through the air, heading straight for the water plant. The water plant was right in front of them, a race against time. To fight the battle for the water plant, they needed more supplies. The abandoned mall was their only option.
The drone is in position. Starting reconnaissance. Multiple heat signatures. Detected location unknown.
Steve quickly searched for medical supplies.
Steve, evacuate immediately. The situation has changed.
The raiders launched a sudden attack.
Damn it, we're surrounded.
Steve, behind the left pillar on the second floor.
Roger that. One down.
The explosion was deafening. A deadly threat loomed quietly. The gunfire attracted a horde of zombies.
Smoke grenade cover. Retreat.
I'll cover you.
They broke out successfully and sped away. In the ruined mall, Steve is pinned down by the heavy crossbow fire of a pillager leader.
Steve, there's no escape for you.
Heavy crossbow bolts whistled toward him with deadly threat. The blast wave left Steve in a perilous situation. At the critical moment, Alex, hiding in the ventilation duct, quickly activated the reconnaissance drone. The reconnaissance drone lifted off silently. Alex operated quickly and locked onto the enemy's position. Through the police terminal, she released high-frequency electronic interference. The piercing interference left the pillagers in agony. Steve seized the few seconds of chaos among the enemies. Guided by the drone, Steve prepared to break out. Guided by the drone's infrared path, he fought his way out. Steve fought back and 2 pillagers fell instantly. Steve sprinted toward the exit along the long aisle of shelves.
Steve, get in the car. Hurry.
Steve got in the car and Alex slammed on the gas. The two drove the Jeep, crashed through the revolving door and sped away. The Jeep raced away, fleeing the dangerous area. The pillager leader's fury burned in the rearview mirror. Their fateful vendetta was locked in a deadly standoff from that moment on. Day 30 of the apocalypse, power is out and the city is dead silent.
Steve, they're coming. There are more than we expected.
The external surveillance showed the enemies were closing in fast.
Received Alex. I'm in position.
The redstone circuits beneath their feet were their only hope. The horde of zombies, drawn by the sound, was closing in step by step. The first wave of enemies was wiped out in an instant.
Steve, there are too many. Activate the redstone traps.
Got it.
A light touch of the finger decides life and death. The redstone traps activated. Their dance of death was about to begin. A sudden flash of light left them dazed for a moment. The horde besieged, and the building trembled on the brink of collapse. The detonation signal had been sent. The pre-buried traps erupted in an instant. The dark city turned into a sea of fire in an instant.
We did it. We're safe for now.
The survivors' eyes were filled with resolve. The devastating siege had been held off for now. The zombie horde surged, and creepers closed in on the defense through the thick smoke. The threat of their explosions targeted the core support pillars directly. The devastating explosion made the load-bearing pillars crash down. The shelter tilted, and the building was on the verge of collapsing. Steve fired at full force, holding back the zombie tide.
Alex, this building won't hold much longer.
A desperate slide, grenades blocking the pursuers. The explosion held off the enemies, buying precious time. Alex's fingers flew, mapping out a lifeline for escape. The drone lifted off, searching for a slim chance of survival.
Any luck? Is there a way out?
The drone found one, but we only get one shot.
A green laser path lit up, guiding their hope of escape.
Go. Trust me.
Racing against death, a desperate evacuation. The building collapsed, bringing about a doomsday scene.
The escape jeep was their last hope.
Dad, it's coming down.
The engine roared, evacuating every second. A narrow escape between life and death. The Jeep rushed into the hidden underground entrance, and the team entered an unknown territory. The headlights cut through the darkness, driving deep underground. This place is completely different from the surface ruins, hiding enormous secrets. The three got out of the car cautiously and ventured into the unknown. Cold-toned pixel lights create an extremely oppressive, isolated island of civilization. Cold light shines on their faces and the atmosphere is suffocating. Cold light strips, the light has no warmth at all. Alex uses the police terminal to forcibly crack the core database. Alex's fingers fly as lines of code flash by quickly. Access granted, the data gate is open. Classified documents unfold layer by layer and the truth is about to surface. Numerous experiment records indicate that this plague was not an accident. This is a biological weapon released by the raiders to completely reshuffle the city's power. Filled with rage, he grips his weapon tightly. The truth falls like a cold sledgehammer, igniting the flames of vengeance. The fire of vengeance burns in his eyes. In the secret research center, Alex is cracking the final encrypted force field. Her fingertips hold the hope of solving the mystery. The encrypted force field has been successfully broken through by her. The dark blue antibody stock solution finally appears before her eyes. The precious antibody is finally obtained. The alarm tears through the silence in an instant, and the self-destruct program activates. Steve fights back in the narrow corridor. Raider mercenaries swarm in, and Steve is locked in a bitter battle. Tactical slide. He reveals his warrior instinct. Bullets pierce through, and the raiders fall to the ground.
Sorry, we have to retreat.
They evacuate in the firelight, the antibody becoming their only hope.
These antibodies are too few. They can only save lives, not cure the disease completely.
The drone lifts off, searching for new clues. The source of the virus is locked in the city center. Got it.
Water treatment plant. Let's go.
The countdown to the end of the apocalypse has officially begun. For the truth, Steve and Alex decide to take back the broadcast tower. In the darkness, they are the only hope.
Ready?
It's time to reveal the truth.
Steve launches a surprise attack on the TV tower using a zipline. Target locked, breach imminent. Glass shatters, the raid begins. Steve descends like a god, firing at full power. The enemy is caught off guard and thrown into chaos. Alex is outside the tower, controlling the drone for reconnaissance. The reconnaissance drone takes off to scout the enemy situation. Infrared vision, the enemy has nowhere to hide. Alex snipes with precision, providing long-range support. Shot through walls, one hit, one kill. The truth is uploading, countdown begins. Upload successful, victory is in sight. The truth explodes in the night sky. The crimes are blatant and the evidence is conclusive. Meet at the top of the tower and get ready to fight. The two meet at the top of the tower, ready to face the raiders' final frantic counterattack. The battle for the TV tower intensifies and Alex activates hacker mode. A flood of code surges and the defense system is on the verge of collapse. The dawn of victory flickers at their fingertips. The enemy's automatic turret fires at full power, targeting Steve. System reversed, the turret turns its guns, aiming straight at the raiders. The betrayed turret turns against them in an instant, and the raiders are routed. Steve seizes the opportunity, launching a surprise attack via the high-altitude zipline. Breaking through the window, Steve launches a thunderous operation. Inside, Steve carries out precise tactical clearance. Gunshots ring out suddenly, and the enemies dissolve into pixels. Suppressive fire. Steve advances step by step, clearing the obstacles. The two meet up and head straight for the tower top. Ascend to the tower top, the final battle begins. Steve activates the signal device, igniting the light of hope. A blue beam of light bursts through the sky, cutting through the Doomsday dusk. The city's redstone lights blaze on, the horn of the resistance rallying. The web of hope spreads, and the city is awakened by light. Day 70 of the apocalypse, the Marauder army launches a frenzied retaliation. Steve decides to carry out the high-risk decapitation strike. Alex is providing support from the clock tower 1,000 meters away.
Steve, target locked and ready.
He navigates swiftly through the complex terrain of the ruins. Heavy machine gun fire suppresses, bullets whiz past.
Blind spot is my chance.
The movements are smooth and fluid, full of oppressive force.
3 raiders spotted. Flanking Steve.
An armor-piercing bullet cuts through the sky. The crisis is resolved in an instant. This is the dominance of a top-tier sniper. Steve is approaching the enemy's core.
Now, throw the high explosive.
Precisely planted into the turret gap. Evacuate and wait for the optimal detonation time.
Steve, the detonation point is locked.
One shot pierces the fuse, pixel flames burst into the sky. A huge pixel fireball soars into the sky. The armored car is blown to pieces and the raiders are routed. The two break out successfully amidst the sky full of fire. Steve speeds up right from the start, parkour through the ruins at full speed. The raider armored vehicle pursues closely from behind, putting all the pressure on Steve. Machine guns fire at full blast. Steve dodges to the limit. What an awesome move. Steve maneuvers skillfully and successfully lures the enemy into the trap area. Alex is in position, sniping from the high ground, waiting for the perfect moment. The enchanted longbow is fully drawn, glowing with purple light. Aim for the weak spot. The armored vehicle's tracks. You're the target. Perfect hit. The armored vehicle's tracks are destroyed instantly, rendering it immobile. The armored vehicle loses control and crashes straight into the obstacle. What a huge win. Steve quickly sets up his gun. The anti-material rifle has locked onto the target. Aim for the core weak spot. One shot, finish it off. Pull the trigger. This shot seals the victory. The bullet pierces the armor. The internal structure is completely destroyed. Boom! The armored vehicle explodes completely, shattered into pieces. The enemy's equipment is completely destroyed, and the battle comes to a temporary halt. Loot time! Let's see what good stuff we can find in the wreckage. Found an important item. A mysterious chip glowing with purple light. Chip activated. Virus code and coordinate map appear with a huge amount of information. There seems to be a bigger secret and challenge hidden behind all this. A new crisis is coming and the adventure continues.
Steve, they're coming. They're way faster than before.
Damn it. They can actually climb walls now.
The shelter has been breached. Steve, suppress them with fire.
The new route, the village chief mentioned send a drone to scout ahead.
Hope the path the village chief pointed out was right.
Blocked ahead, a horde of creepers blocks the path.
Leave it to me, Steve. I'll clear the way.
The drone drops bombs, precisely clearing the obstacles. Flames shoot into the sky, and the jeep breaks through the siege.
Museum ruins. The entrance is under the broken stone pillar on the west side.
Alex, what's that?
Is this the museum the village chief mentioned? This is the chip that can open the hidden door.
The mysterious chip is activated and the mechanism deep inside the museum starts.
Hurry. They're catching up.
A massive, heavy door seals off the horde and the crisis is temporarily lifted.
We're finally safe. This is the final shelter.
This is only temporary. The bigger counterattack has just begun.
I've locked onto the location of the virus source.
They have reached the last Pure Land and launched the final counterattack. The road to the final shelter is full of danger and the unknown.
They're catching up. They're too fast.
Hold on tight. There's a roadblock ahead.
Second-order mutated climbers, a threat everywhere.
These guys are completely crazy.
Watch out. The raiders' drones.
Get in the car. We have to go.
They move through the ruins of the city, treading on thin ice with every step. We finally arrived. The hidden entrance is right here.
This is it. The redstone secret door.
You take the lead. I'll cover you.
Alex raced against time to solve the redstone mechanism.
You're coming again. I'll hold on. Hold on, Alex.
Almost just a little more. It worked. Get inside quickly.
The critical moment, they tumbled underground. The giant gate closed shut, cutting off the roar of the outside world.
We made it.
The crisis is temporarily over, but new challenges follow. Day 100 of the apocalypse, and the hope of rescue has finally arrived. The helicopter hovers over the ruins, searching for signs of life. Steve and Alex rush towards the city square, facing the final challenge.
It's a trap.
The raider leader had long set a trap, waiting for them.
They've got too much firepower. We're surrounded. I have a plan.
Alex drew the fire and led the creepers toward the enemy position. Alex leaped over and cleverly directed the danger toward the enemy. The creeper was lured into position, and the raiders panicked. The chain explosions instantly broke through the enemy's encirclement.
It's time.
Zombies and arrows intertwined, and Steve pushed forward through the chaos. The fateful showdown is about to begin. The helicopter lands, and the strong wind helps Steve launch his counterattack. A fatal strike, and the raider leader falls. The raider leader disintegrates, fading away into pixelated flames.
Steve, villagers, get on board quickly.
He held the line to freedom for the survivors. The rescue helicopter carries hope, flying toward a new tomorrow.